And Harry's made some interesting comments this week that in 2018...
My wife in 2018 was the most trolled person in the world.
What if everything we thought we knew about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's children was carefully staged? What if the birth certificates, the headlines, and even the emotional interviews were just pieces of a carefully controlled puzzle? Today, we're diving into a royal mystery so bizarre, so full of legal twists, missing names, and hidden faces, you won't believe how deep it goes. Because somewhere between a California hospital and a Colorado surrogacy clinic, the truth got buried. And now, an alleged surrogate is stepping forward, and what she might reveal could destroy the fairy tale once and for all. From secret edits on birth documents to whispers that Prince Harry may not even be the biological father, this story spirals into questions no one dares to ask out loud. But we will, and by the end of this video, you'll be wondering, were we ever told the truth? Archie's certificate mystery. Let's begin with Archie's birth certificate, because this is where the quiet oddities start. In the UK, birth records are legally formatted and follow a royal standard. Both parents must be listed with their full legal names. It's consistent across generations, from the Queen's children to Princess Charlotte. But when Meghan gave birth to Archie, something unexpected happened. Instead of writing Rachel Meghan Markle, her full legal name, on the certificate, she used only her title, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. That's highly irregular, and no other royal mother has done it before. Then, just 11 days later, the certificate wasn't simply edited, it was legally corrected. That specific action suggests someone thought something was legally incorrect or missing in the original version. Meghan later said the palace made her do it, but that only deepened the mystery. Why would the palace want to erase her legal identity from such a critical document? Was it a matter of privacy, status, or something else entirely? The Lilibet twist. Now let's look at Lilibet's birth, because this is where the story turns from odd to unsettling. The public was told she was born in California, but behind that announcement is a growing trail of inconsistencies. Legal observers noticed that some of the documentation linked to Lilibet points not to California, but to Colorado. Why does that matter? Colorado has more flexible surrogacy laws. Unlike California, it allows intended parents to be listed directly on birth certificates without naming the surrogate. And then there's what's actually on the certificate. Instead of listing Prince Harry's full legal name, Henry Charles Albert David, the document only includes His Royal Highness the Duke of Sussex. That might sound impressive, but in US legal terms, it means nothing. Titles don't hold any legal weight in matters like custody, citizenship, or inheritance. Meanwhile, Meghan used her full name on Lilibet's certificate, the opposite of what she did with Archie. That contrast is hard to ignore. One child has no legal mother listed by name. The other has no legally valid father listed. It feels calculated, as if there's a reason each document was carefully crafted to limit one parent's claim. Legal loopholes and silence. Let's take a closer look at why all this legal detail matters. In the United States, birth certificates aren't just keepsakes. They serve as foundational legal documents used to establish citizenship, parental rights, custody, and even future inheritance. That's why accuracy on these records is so crucial. So when Harry's full legal name is missing from Lilibet's certificate, it's not a harmless mistake. It could actually strip him of legal recognition as her father in the US. Without that name, he might not be able to claim custody, make decisions in an emergency, or even be officially identified as her parent in court. And yet, despite the potential legal risks, no corrections have been made. Not in months, not in years. It would take just one amendment form to fix, but that never happened. That silence, that inaction, suggests this wasn't an oversight. It might have been intentional. And that leads to a bigger question. Was the certificate designed to leave Harry out? Surrogate rumors and Colorado connection. Now we arrive at one of the most controversial points in this story, the growing rumors of a surrogate. According to multiple insider sources, the woman who gave birth to Lilibet might not have been Meghan at all. Instead, it's believed to be a 23-year-old woman based in Colorado, a state that, again, has laws allowing anonymous surrogacy and flexible documentation. The timing is telling. This unnamed woman reportedly gave birth in early June 2021, just days before Lilibet's official birthday. Insiders claim she signed strict non-disclosure agreements and has remained completely silent ever since. If this is true, it would explain why the official records are so vague, and why Harry's legal name was left off the document. In Colorado, intended parents can be listed immediately on birth certificates, without mentioning the surrogate. That would make it easy to file paperwork that omits crucial details, perfect for someone trying to keep the true circumstances private. This isn't just speculation. The legal framework, the timeline, and the unusual secrecy all line up. Health claims versus public sightings. Lilibet's birth. On her podcast, Meghan shared that she suffered from postpartum preeclampsia, a very serious condition that typically leads to extended hospital stays, limited mobility, and strict medical supervision. But just days after Lilibet's supposed birth, Meghan was spotted out in public. No signs of physical recovery, no medical precautions, no indication she had just faced a major health scare. It felt off, like the timeline didn't match the story. Meanwhile, Harry was seen enjoying himself in Aspen, playing polo just a few weeks later. He looked relaxed, cheerful, and completely at ease. Would a husband whose partner had nearly faced a life-threatening delivery really be on a polo field, smiling for cameras? The contrast between their story and their public appearances only deepens the doubt. Where's the final certificate? There's another red flag that's been overlooked by many, but it's a big one. The only public document we've ever seen for Lilibet is something called a certificate of live birth. That's not the same as a full, state-issued birth certificate. It's what hospitals provide to confirm that a child was born alive, but it isn't the official record used for legal purposes, like passports or government ID. So where's the final certificate? Why hasn't it ever been released? In a high-profile family like this, those details usually surface quickly. The lack of an official California birth certificate only fuels speculation that something is being kept out of sight. If it were just a simple paperwork delay, it could have been corrected long ago, but it wasn't. Years have passed, and still, no update, no public filing, and no confirmation from the state. It raises the possibility that the final document either lists information they don't want known, or it doesn't exist in the form we expect. Is Harry the biological father? Now, we're entering territory that takes this from strange to shocking. Could it be that Prince Harry isn't Lilibet's biological father? At first glance, that sounds too wild to believe. But the more you look at the details, the more the pieces start to line up in a concerning way. One long-standing rumor in royal circles is that Harry suffered a medical complication as a child, specifically a hernia issue that may have affected his fertility. While it's never been confirmed publicly, the rumor has persisted for years. If there's even a hint of truth to it, that could explain why surrogacy and even donor material may have been part of the family planning. And here's where it becomes legally important. In the US, parental rights are based on either biological connection or legal documentation. If Harry didn't provide DNA and also isn't listed by his legal name, he could be left without either path to legal fatherhood. Meghan, on the other hand, used her full legal name, locking in her parental rights with precision. Meghan's strategy and possible motives. Something else observers have noticed is Meghan's behavior with her children, specifically how she presents them to the public. Many have pointed out that she seems far more emotionally connected to Lilibet than to Archie. Some say she speaks about Lilibet with more warmth, features her more prominently in media, and seems to showcase her more often in curated appearances. Could that be because Lilibet is biologically hers through egg donation and surrogacy, while Archie may not share that connection? It's a question people have started to ask, especially when you consider how the legal documents were handled. Meghan removed her name from Archie's certificate, but made sure it appeared on Lilibet's. She left Harry's name off Lilibet's certificate, but allowed his name to appear on Archie's. That pattern feels deliberate, almost as if each child has one securely documented parent, and one who's been legally distanced. If a custody battle ever happened, Meghan's position with Lilibet would be far stronger. Meanwhile, Harry's role, especially in the US, could be challenged in court. It's not just a theory anymore. It's a legal possibility built into how the paperwork was filed. The misleading miscarriage claim? Let's rewind to July 2020, when Meghan publicly revealed she had suffered a miscarriage. The statement was emotional and raw, and it drew sympathy from people around the world. But something about the timeline didn't sit right with observers. Shortly after the announcement, Meghan was seen visiting what was labeled as a dental clinic in Beverly Hills. But this particular clinic is also known for providing luxury fertility treatments. And what really raised eyebrows? Meghan was photographed carrying a small pouch that closely resembled a cold pack, commonly used after egg retrieval procedures. If she had just experienced a traumatic loss, her quick return to public life, and the location she visited, felt inconsistent with the story. Was it truly a miscarriage, or could it have been part of a fertility process that wasn't disclosed? Adding to the confusion was a video Meghan later promoted claiming to show Lilibet's birth, but the video didn't align with the strict hospital protocols that were in place during that time. No masks, no visible precautions, no signs of medical restrictions. It looked more like a professional photo shoot than an actual delivery during a global health emergency. A larger truth emerging. By now, every piece of this puzzle points in one direction. Something deeper is going on. Birth records don't match up. Legal names are missing, health stories don't align with public appearances, and official documents, like full birth certificates, are either incomplete, altered, or entirely unseen. Add in the speculation that Harry may not be biologically linked to Lilibet, and the legal risks multiply. Without a biological tie, and without his legal name on record, Harry could face a situation where he holds no parental claim at all, especially under U.S. law. Meanwhile, Meghan's paperwork tells a different story. Her name is securely placed where it needs to be. The contrast between Archie and Lilibet's records looks less like coincidence and more like planning, almost as if each child was documented to protect a specific parent's position. And when you step back, it's hard to ignore the bigger picture. Why would every document tell a slightly different story? Why does every version of events seem to shift depending on what's being questioned? The deeper you dig, the more it feels like we've only seen the version of the truth they want us to believe. So now we're left with some serious questions, ones that go far beyond gossip or headlines. Were these changes just clerical mistakes? Or were they carefully planned steps in a much larger strategy? Why hasn't anything been corrected publicly, even after years of growing speculation? And if Prince Harry truly has no legal or biological connection to Lilibet, what happens if there's ever a legal split? What does that mean for his rights as a father, or for Lilibet's future as a potential heir to the royal legacy? It's no longer just about a birth certificate, it's about control, identity, and the legal power to shape what the world sees. Every missing name, every sudden correction, and every quiet omission points to one thing, a story that's still being rewritten behind closed doors. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think there's more going on than meets the eye? And if so, what do you believe is the truth? Don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into stories the mainstream avoids. The next twist might already be unfolding, and you'll want to be here when it breaks.